Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome. My name is Natalie if this is the first time that you're watching my videos. Today in this video we are going to talk about one of the biggest, if not the biggest transit that is happening for us in 2023. It's going to be a little bit lengthy because it is quite important and it will affect us for the next 2 decades. Take a cuppa and let's get into it. So in this video we are going to talk about Pluto. Pluto is going to change sign after spending 15 years in Capricorn, and today, while I'm recording this video on March 23rd 2023, in a few hours, right now it is Hong Kong time, March 23rd in the afternoon. In a few hours tonight on the 23rd, 8:13 p.m. Hong Kong time, or in United States Eastern time, it is going to be March 23rd morning, 8:13 a.m. Pluto officially dipped into the next sign, Aquarius. So this is huge because Pluto is our one of the outer planets. It is associated and known as our generational planets because each time it changed sign, it dipped into another sign, it will spend like a decade, and depending on which sign, it will spend at least a little bit more than a decade. It can be as short as 11-12 years, long as 30 years. And right now we're starting to get into the longer cycle of Pluto because of the orbit. Pluto is going to spend the next 20 years. Yes, until 2024 it will stay in Aquarius. But right now in 2023 Pluto is going to dip into Aquarius, kind of like giving us a prequel, because Pluto is like, you know, I'm a big shot, I'm very powerful, and I'm going to be there affecting you all in the sign of Aquarius for the next 20 years. I don't want you all to be scared. I'm going to give you a little preview of what's to come. So I'm just going to dip into Aquarius for a little bit, 3 months, kind of sampling, giving you like a sample of taste of what I'm going to do in Aquarius. So why do I keep saying pay attention March? Pay attention what comes up for you individually and as a collective between March and June, because Pluto is going to dip into Aquarius from today, March 23rd, until June 11th. And then Pluto is going to retrograde back into Capricorn, and it will retrograde for a little bit and come back to Aquarius, and next year it will retrograde back just a little bit more, just a couple months in Capricorn, to finally give us enough time for this transition to tie up our loose ends and tie up the energy in Capricorn house and all Capricorn related things, and finally truly officially enter Aquarius and without turning back for the next 20 years towards November 2024. So between now to November next year 2024, I feel like this is going to be a period of transition. We're going to continue to see the energy of Pluto in Capricorn. Things will still be coming up in the Capricorn house for us to really wrap up our cycle, you know, individually in our own natal chart, in our Capricorn root house. Pluto is going to be there, give us some last messages, last chances, last lessons, last honest brutal truth to really awaken you to wrap up that Capricorn house of yours in your own natal chart, because Pluto is ready to ascend from the underworld and to bring another sign down, Aquarius. And we will already start to see some of those themes coming up, and it will continue to get more attention as time goes. And I feel like we will truly immerse into that Pluto and Aquarius time and towards the end of 2024, but we were definitely feeling that energy already. I can see it happening already at a collective level, and I am sure we are going to have more of those themes coming up, and we'll talk about them. So very exciting, and some people are very scared because Pluto is like, oh, the underworld, you know, the Hades, the scary one, and all those stuff. But yet sometimes it also reminds us the cycle of life. You know, we can't constantly just keep growing, building, and not making space for changes and shift, not transforming, not improving. And sometimes those transition time can be hard, can be tough, can be painful, because we are human. Our ego mind want to protect us, right? We don't want to let go of what needs to be gone, and we don't want to transform. We love our comfort zone sometimes, maybe a little bit too much, and we're scared of the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. The unknown is scary, and we don't want to go there. Sometimes we avoid, we try to ignore, and don't want to look at our own shadow. But our shadows are so powerful and magical, because in our shadow lies power and magic for us to able to transform, to really get to know ourselves at a deeper level. You can't just love the good things and the light side of you. You need to embrace your darkness, embrace your shadows, and so that you can transform them and turn them into powerful tools and energies for you to shine even brighter. So I say that because I'm a Scorpio. I have heavy Pluto energy, so I can't say I'm an expert in it, but I am definitely, you know, okay with it. You know, there are times where I still like, I'm still learning, I'm always learning, but every time I connected with this energy, I understand why it's there and how beautiful and transformative it can be if we allow it. Okay, and you know what, sometimes whether you want to or not allow it or not, Pluto is just gonna come anyway, so you might as well just be comfortable with it. So just a little bit of information about all this Pluto cycle and things like that. Pluto is a dwarf planet, is one of the outer planet, like I mentioned before. We associate sometimes Pluto and other outer planet as a generational planet because of how long it stays in one sign. It really bring up like a new genre and a new period of time. We have like, for example, millennial will have probably almost all of them will have Pluto in Scorpio, and the Gen Z, I think, that the newest generation, whatever you call them, they probably will have Pluto and Aquarius. So we have this like different energies in different generation that comes up. So Pluto roughly takes about 244-45 years to travel all 12 signs to complete a cycle around. So and also it spends different period of time depending which sign Pluto is in, because of the orbit Pluto travel, it will spend more time once it gets to like let's say Aquarius and Aries, Taurus, and so on and so forth, and then it starts to get shorter once it reaches to the other 6-7 sign. So that is how Pluto travel, more or less, in a very, very, very overall point of view. And so what happens when Pluto change sign, like enter the next sign? Well, so far when we look from the past few times when Pluto transit and move to the next sign, we see not like catastrophic but quite loud of a noise, because Pluto is that planet that just like travel down to the underworld, excavate and dig up some dirt to expose, review maybe the power struggles, the the power that systems holds and the structure holds. Sometimes it can be, dark, ugly, and dirty. It exposes things for human to know as a collective and individually, so that we can transform, transmute, to rebuild, or to build something new upon it. Just like that sign, Scorpio, it burn down everything to ashes, and it rise from the ashes up and come out as the phoenix. Okay, so yes, it can be really tough and hard. It's not an easy journey, but yet it's, when you come out from the other side and look back, it's an amazing growth and evolution for oneself or as a collective. So what happened when Pluto enter from Sagittarius to Capricorn last time? Well, Pluto right now is still in Capricorn. It will still, go back and forth in Capricorn for a little bit until the end of next year. But when did Pluto enter Capricorn? I'm sure if I say the year, you all know, will be like, oh my God, okay? It was 2008. Oh my God. Because what happened 2008? A world level financial tsunami, I want to say, because we have, if you're old enough, you will record 2008. It was the collapse of our finance market. It really sent us to a deep recession for like a couple years. The Lehman Brothers bankrupt and so on and so forth. We have, big bank company collapsing. There's recession, the stock market collapse, there's the housing bubbles, everything. Okay, it was like that. So does that mean the same thing is going to happen tonight? No, it's not gonna. Sometimes for people, change can really happen overnight, and I also experienced a couple of those in my lifetime, and it sucks, right? Yes, and it's possible, but we have so many people with their own unique natal chart. Some might, get hit more than the others. Some might not really feel it on the personal level, and it can be subtle, because remember, Pluto is spending like 2 decades in that Aquarius house in this next 2 decades. It's not like you're gonna constantly feel Pluto hitting you every day, right? But maybe from time to time you can feel it, especially when you look back. You'll be like, oh my God. Okay, so what's Capricorn about? Capricorn is all about those long-standing structure construct system, such as the bank, the government, our government around the world, our society, our infrastructure, and so on and so forth. And during the Capricorn period of time from 2008 up until this point, we really did see changes, shift happening, right? We saw major finance bubbles, housing bubble. We saw major layoff, from few different period of time. We saw big infrastructure collapsing, people starting to want to not afraid to stand up, and they are seeing that the system, the structure that was working for a long period of time no longer works. There needs to be a change, right? We saw how the union workers, there's a few throughout different parts of the world, US, maybe UK as well. We saw those people you know, fighting for their rights. We saw nurses, we saw railway people, and so on and so forth. They want to fight for their rights. The system is not working for them, it's collapsing. It's only working to benefit the top few people on the top. It is not benefiting the people that truly spend, you know, their body and soul and time and effort in building that system, right? So we see, especially the past few years, the collapse and the wanting to crumble and collapse those structure, and we will probably continue to see them happening. And it is kind of scary to say it in some way, but I also feel like sometimes these need to happen. Sometimes things need to get really bad first, worse, in order for better things to come in. And yes, this period of time sucks, but it is to make way for something better, something that will benefit the collective more to come in. Now we talk about Capricorn just now a little bit. Let's talk about Aquarius, the sign that Pluto is about to dip in. Well, Aquarius is known as, when we say Aquarius, people immediately think of, ooh, rebellious, ooh, being innovative, you know, being thinking outside of the box. Aquarius is that unique, quirky sign, right? It's very future forward thinking. And yes, it is quite right. And I do kind of agree with it, because I feel like sometimes we often associate Aquarius immediately, not saying all, but many people associate Aquarius with its northern ruler Uranus. And Uranus is that electric, sudden, out of the blue, lightning strikes moment, right? The aha moment, the ooh, light bulb moment. And it's that really out of the norm thinking, and it can just come out in the middle of nowhere. And it is true, it is right, it's very innovative, rebellious. It is all about the new, something that not everyone will think about. But don't forget, Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, the traditional ruler for so many years. So I sometimes want to remind people, yes, definitely, you know, use the modern ruler Uranus, but don't forget about Saturn, the traditional ruler. And you know, Saturn and Capricorn, they're both ruled by Saturn. So Pluto has been in a Saturn ruled sign for like the past 15 years, and now it's dipping into another Saturn ruled sign. So it can bring up similar themes and continue those similar themes. And Aquarius, at the end of the day, how to say that? Yes, it's out of the box thinking. It's kind of out of the norm. But it is also very future forward thinking. But at the same time, Aquarius talks about the groups, the community, the collective, the people, right? It talks about not just about one person, because we associate humanitarian with Aquarius, so it's a bit conflicting, right? But when you think about Aquarius is the sign that think about the people. It's all about the people as a collective. How can we do things that benefit not just myself but everybody, right? It is about not just shining your light, but shining your light among the collective, among the community, in a group, so that everybody gets to shine their light. You're not just like stealing the light for yourself. But also sometimes when that collective thing no longer works for the collective, Aquarius is not afraid to step out, alien itself, and come out to think differently and rethink, reform, refine, rebuild a new structure or system that is going to be an improvement of what is no longer really working right now. So that is kind of like the energy of Aquarius. It is it can sometimes seems a little bit just at oneself, but it's also sometimes being in a group and making sure it works, but also knowing when is the time to step out, take the lead, build something, break down the structure, rebuild it, or start something new, being that innovative person when the existing no longer works. I hope I'm making sense here. I hope you're following me, but that is kind of like the Aquarius energy, right? So yes, I just want to let everybody know that it's not just a Uranus aspect, but also the Saturn aspect, and mixed together we have a more well-rounded knowledge about the Aquarius energy. Okay, all right. Now, let's talk about Pluto. We already talked about it a little bit. Pluto is known as, the Lord of the Underworld, Hades, right? It is that planet that talks about transformation, talk about hell, the underworld, right? Dragging people and things down to the underworld in order to transform them, right? And this is the planet of death and rebirth, transformation. This is about destroy and destruct so that we can rebuild and reform something better. It is, Pluto talks about sometimes the ugly side of human being, of everything, right? The power struggle, the jealousy, the obsession, the corruption, the ugly, the taboo, the darkness, all these things that sometimes we don't talk about, we don't want to talk about, we avoid to talk about, we're scared to talk about, but it's there. We all know, but we just choose to put it aside. Well, Pluto is like, nah, we gotta drag it out, put it in front of everybody so that everybody knows what is truly going on, and then we can sift and sort through everything, and we burn away what no longer works, okay? And then we have space to make something better, bigger, better, whatever, or something new, right? To transmute those energy, to make space, and not afraid to destruct, to destroy, to burn things down so that we can rebuild something better that works better for everybody, right? So on the personal level, it can be a personal transformation, right? This is about you stepping into your power also, to regain your power, take your power back. I'm not afraid of my shadow. Guess what? I'm going to pull my shadow out and have a conversation with it, and I'm going to work with my shadow to embrace it so that I can transmute it, so that I can alchemize it to make myself even shine brighter. Okay? So not that scary after all, right? Even though I kind of want to do that mysterious thing for you all. But so now we talked about Pluto and Aquarius separately. We kind of know what's to come. We kind of paint a picture in the background of what might happen, what's to come in the next 2 decades, like a vague picture, a big picture. But we do want to use our history as a reference to see what might some of the history told us. What can we expect? Does that mean the history is going to replay itself? Not necessary. Maybe not every single thing. But we can see from what happened before, we can kind of sort of guess what might happen this transit, and kind of give ourselves a little bit of a heads up. So let's take a look what happens when Pluto was in Aquarius last time. It is more than 200 years ago. All right, we were probably in our different lifetimes if you believe in past lives. So last time when Pluto was in Aquarius, it's about 1778 to 1798. A lot happened during those 2 decades. It's basically about the power of people, the age of revolution. All right, so just to highlight a few important ones, otherwise the list will go on and on and on. So we have revolution, 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 revolution. 1776, we have the Declaration of Independence. Even though Pluto officially entered Aquarius 1778 in 2 years, but you know, the war, the insurrection continued to fight until 1783, 1784 during that time. So this whole American Revolution continues on for a little bit more during this Pluto transit and complete in this Pluto transit. And then we have the French Revolution that took place in 1789 to 1790s. And then we have the Haitian Revolution, 1791 to 1804. And then this Pluto and Aquarius transit also mark the start of the Industrial Revolution that starts around 1960s, and you know, it goes on until the 1840s. So that's how long the Industrial Revolution was, but it started around that time during Pluto and Aquarius. And some very fixed air Aquarius thing happened as well. We have in 1783, September 19, the first hot air balloon was invented by the Montgolfier brother in Versailles. I hope I'm not butchering the name, but talk about fixed air Aquarius, we have hot air balloon invented during Pluto and Aquarius transit. I love it. That's like one of the major highlights for me. And then we have 1781, Uranus, the modern ruler of Aquarius, was discovered. Oh my goodness, it's like, can we be more can there be more synchronicity? The modern ruler of Aquarius was discovered during the previous Pluto and Aquarius transit. And lastly, one more thing I want to mention is a science new discovery. In 1784, a chemist named Henry Cavendish discovered the composition of water, H2O. So you see, a lot of the reason why I picked these out is we have the power of people, which is kind of like the major symbol of Pluto and Aquarius. It's all about the power of people. It's all about the power of the collective, right? Which I honestly really love about. Okay, I love that. I'm not saying I love revolution. I mean, I kind of love revolutions in some way, because if something is no longer working, I don't mind. I don't mind breaking it down. Of course, you know, casualties might cause. It might be tough and hard, but I'm those type of people. I'm not afraid to scrap everything off and to rebuild or to start something new if the existing stuff is not working. What's the point of beating a dead horse, right? And so we have so many revolutions. It was like the age of revolution during last Pluto and Aquarius transit. And we also have a lot of new innovative discovery, invention, and scientific breakthrough during that time. And on top of the head, I suddenly just remember, I think the smallpox vaccine was also invented during that time. Don't quote me on that, but that's one of the things I was looking through as well. But you get me, you know, we have those kind of stuff happening. Does that mean we're gonna have war? during this transit, well, we already have one that's going on, right? And will that war continue to develop? Yes, for sure. Will there be more wars? Maybe. Who knows? There's always tension around the countries. I'm not one of those people who's scared or don't want to talk about it, right? Sometimes we do have to talk about it. And will things get more worse? Who knows? Maybe. In order for things to get better. But that's kind of the stuff we can foreshadow or think that might happen. So let's talk about some possible things that might happen during this Pluto in Aquarius transit in the next 20 years. Talking about Pluto in Aquarius, we cannot not talk about the technologies, right? The technology really just skyrocketed over the past few decades. It's quite crazy, to be honest, thinking about how people were living their life, let's say 50 years ago, compared to us now living our life. I mean, if you have maybe some of your parents or your grandparents, they don't even know what internet was, you know, in their time. And now everything is online, everything is like computerized, right? So the technology thing is definitely one of the biggest topic that is going to take place during this Pluto and Aquarius transit. And come on, like before, when everything started, the World Wide Web was built. It was built by a small group of people to want to do something for the greater good. So Aquarius, right? They want to build something for the people to make their lives easier and better. They want to create community with it. You know, they want to do this for the greater good, for people, right? But then later on, it slowly evolved and grow. You know, some big company or government see the potential and they start to kind of monopolize it, control it, and build upon it. And now it turned into these like big tech companies, a few of them, and only the top few people that's truly really controlling them, right? If you think about it, all the minute we start using the World Wide Web, we kind of already sold our soul to, you know, whether we want to admit it or not, we're no longer free already in some way, you know, because we expose our data, our information, right? And you don't know what they do about it. Like until now, they keep collecting our information, our data, from the way we use different apps, the way we use the internet, and so on and so forth. Do we know what they do about that, right? Who knows? We might see some big explosion during this transit about what is really happening with all our data. What did they do with it, right? And then it leads to AI, right? There's the AI definitely developed over the past decades, and it keeps getting smarter and better. Who started it? Us, human, right? We wanted to improve our lives. We wanted to make life easier. We want to do things more efficiently. We want to, you know, Siri, Alexa, right? Alexa, turn on the light. Alexa, do this, do that, right? Google, hey Google, tell me what is the weather today, so on and so forth, right? We do that, and we mindlessly make decisions, make commands, and do things with all this technology on a daily basis. Hundreds, thousands decisions, right? We click, we scroll, we do that sometimes mindlessly, right? We spend hours on these little devices and keep feeding them our energy, our data, our preferences, the algorithm, right? Sometimes it seems like they know us, right? Things that you might be interested, you might want to buy, videos you might want to look at as well because of what you were previously looking at. Okay, is that creepy? Maybe not anymore. People are so used to it. But is it really creepy? Maybe it is, right? During this Pluto and Aquarius transit, I'm sure we can see the big tech company continue to excavate and explore this rabbit hole of AI technology and so on and so forth, and they might continue to challenge, and we as people might also challenge them, like, what are you using all this information for? I mean, like, recently I saw a few news about the bots, right? The GPT chats, like how the guy was so scared because the robots start giving out emotions, telling them like they love them, they want to be with them, and so on and so forth, and it kind of lost control. So, like, will those things continue to happen? Yes, for sure. But how did it start anyway? We feed them. We're the one who will feed those information into the AI, right? Recently there's this movie called Megan. I don't know if anyone watched it, and it talks about AI. It talks about that robot that's supposed to entertain and kind of babysit the little girl, but it went crazy. It got a mind of its own in the end and got violent and creepy and started killing people, right? I mean, can those stuff happen in the real world? I am not surprised if those things happen in the real world and during this transit, because I feel like, this is me personally going on a tangent. I feel like we as a human, we're exploiting this way too crazy, way too much. And why do we have those movies about the robots, the technology taking over and killing people instead? It is possible. Why is it not possible, right? So I'm not here to scare everybody and say that we should all go back to Stone Age and not use our technology. No, but I feel like there should be a limit. There should be regulation. There should be, I don't know. I just feel like we as a collective, we are constantly extracting. We're constantly extracting. We're constantly wanting to make our lives better and easier. But through that, maybe not every single one of us, but definitely the people up there selling us stuff, making us feel like we are really making our life better, they are actually selling us poison. I mean, how crazy it is that we spend so much time online. We learn how to not use social media so much online. Right? We have to go online to learn about these, right? People have to download apps to monitor their screen time, to like stop them from getting too addictive, right? And so on and so forth. So I definitely see us, maybe as a collective, maybe we really start to rethink about our relationship with technology and all this tech stuff also as well. Speaking about that, also we have a lot of new things, interesting, fun things that comes out with it. We have those virtual reality features, right? Where you're building your own avatars, you can make art, you can sell art, all this virtual arts and things that I'm not like fully truly understanding it, but there's also scam around it. There's like copyright. What are they doing? Are they stealing work from the original artist, the photographer? Like, people don't take real photos anymore because you can just use software to make them look like virtual art and enhance it so much it doesn't even look real anymore, like Photoshop, right? People admire how pretty are these photos, but they are heavily Photoshopped. They're not real, and we admire them. So what's real and what's not real anymore? And then now we blend into this Saturn and Pisces a little bit as well. Having Saturn and Pisces with Pluto and Aquarius, We're really blending all this, what is real, what is not, how do we define it. You know, people are losing jobs because of this technology stuff, but some people also gain opportunities and work because of this IT and technology. So how do we draw the line? What's fair, what's not, right? Are we doing this for the people, or are we just doing this to eventually actually make people not have a job and having a harder time to make a living? So these are all very interesting questions that we should ponder upon on, and I think we'll probably see more of those playing out during this transit as well. And then just want to talk a little bit also about the power of people, the I versus V, right? Remember, the opposite sign of Aquarius is Leo, right? Leo is all about being the center of attention. It's talk about being in the heart center. It talks about leadership. It sometimes talk about that royal energy of that one person, powerful, right? And then we have Aquarius on the other side that talks about the people, the collective. So in this axis, having Pluto opposite of Leo, interesting thing, we might see more people having collective thoughts. You know, we already see that fighting for what's right, fighting against the one person, which is maybe the government, certain big companies, certain structure, construct, right? And then we have over here Aquarius, that's the power of people. Who knows, maybe we'll have a revolution, who knows? But definitely people are not scared to voice out and speak their truth nowadays. People are willing to protest and want rights and equality. So who knows, we definitely might see more of those during this transit as well. And lastly, just touching on our Mother Earth, talking about our environment, our climate change a little bit. Aquarius is a fixed air sign, and I can't help but remember Saturn was in Aquarius just before, right? The past 3 years during the whole pandemic, right? Saturn in Aquarius marks and ends the COVID, the pandemic. It was in Aquarius since March 2020 until last month, right? I mean, ironic? Not ironic? It talks about fixed air being constrained, you know, minding our air, our breathing, because it is not safe. Having Pluto in Aquarius, will we see more of air pollution? Will we see problems with air? Will we have, knock on wood, some virus with air again? I don't know. Is it possible? Seems like it may be, but definitely very closely tied to climate change. We might see, because Aquarius also mark the period in the northern hemisphere, the middle of season. Aquarius season is during the deep of the winter. It is the fixed air sign. Sometimes because of that, Aquarius is also the coldest, and ruled by Saturn, the coldest planet, the coldest sign. Doesn't mean Aquarius people are cold-blooded, okay? I have an Aquarius moon. So I'm just saying, maybe we will experience more extreme weathers. I mean, Pluto in here sitting opposite of Leo, which is ruled by the sun. And we have Aquarius, which is the coldest season of the year. Ironic? Maybe we'll have continued like we just see this past year, extreme weathers. It might get more and more extreme during this transit, and because our Earth is sick, right? Our Mother Earth is sick. We have a very very serious climate change problems, and not some people still want to deny it, but I feel like during this transit, people that still deny it will finally wake up and realize that, oh wow, shit really hits the fan, you know, after we talk about this for how many decades, right? I feel like this can be a hopeful moment. Yes, shit might get worse, weather might get worse, and just a few days ago, the UN reported that the world might hit a critical moment with the average temperature reaching above pre-industrial level in the early 2030s, which is in a few years, which is going to be in this Pluto in Aquarius transit. We cannot not do anything about it anymore. And I am going off at a tangent again, because one of my biggest thing that I'm passionate about is raising awareness of climate change, you know. And I'm not perfect. I'm still wasteful. There are still things that I'm still learning to do and try to learn more so that I can be an influence for other people. But I really want to use this time to also just really want everyone to start really pay attention to how much waste they are putting out to the world, and how can we start doing and start taking action and be accountable of what we can do to contribute, you know. Yes, one person might seem like nothing, but together we can make the change. Again, the power of people. Start saying no to plastic. Educate yourself. Ask question. Google, I don't know, research, right? Find out how you can help the Mother Earth. How can you, in your daily life, daily decision that you make, to start making the world a better place for yourself and for future generations. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, doesn't matter. I don't have kids, but I want to leave the world a better place, hopefully. So let's come together and do something about it. All right. And speaking about that climate change problem, I definitely see there might be more talks about alternative energy. Are they really good? Are they also creating waste in the background with us knowing during this transit as well? So, and we actually going to have a very air element, heavy aired era. You know, we stepped into the age of Aquarius, which is an air element, right? And we have we just have Saturn in Aquarius, air sign, and now we're having Pluto in Aquarius, air sign. And then in these 20 years, during Pluto is in Aquarius, we're going to have a lot of air element that will continue to service up to create aspect with this Pluto in Aquarius. For example, we have Uranus, which is right now in Taurus, but it's going to leave Taurus and enter Gemini, the mutable air sign, in 2025, in 2 years, right? And then we'll have Uranus in Gemini for 7 years during this Pluto in Aquarius transit. And then we have Saturn, which is in Pisces right now. Saturn will continue to move and enter Gemini, another air sign, in 2030. And during that time, Uranus will still be in Gemini. So we'll have both Saturn and Uranus in Gemini, and they will be making aspect with Pluto in Aquarius. Whew. Okay, well, that is going to be very interesting. So I feel like maybe 2025 6 will be some interesting crunchy time, and then probably in the end towards like 29-30, when we have Saturn going into Gemini, coexist with Uranus in Gemini. There might be some interesting aspect happening as well, but we'll continue to discuss them as time goes. This is not to create fear. I'm not saying all this to make everyone, you need to be scared of it, this is going to be bad, you know. No. This is going to be transformative, yeah? On a collective level. And yes, that might affect some people, but always remember, sometimes when things seems crunchy, is actually to make things better. So we're not here to create fear, we're here to know what's up, to get a weather forecast so that we can learn how to work with the energy. So I talked about a lot of things that is kind of happening on a collective level. What about as an individual level? on a personal level, are we going to feel this transit heavily ourselves? Well, maybe for some it might be very pivotal moment in your life. It might be very important period of your life. Pluto might really do some transformation, might do some digging in your Aquarius house, right? And it also depends if your own personal natal chart, if other planets are making any aspect with this Pluto and Aquarius transit. Some people might not feel it at all. They might not feel it on a personal level because it's not making much aspect with their own personal planets or their own natal chart. Some people might really have a roller coaster ride with it because it is maybe having some aspect with their own natal chart. So you have to see for yourself if Pluto and Aquarius is going to make any aspect with your own natal chart, and when are they going to take place. This is why it is important, and I feel like this is very important and essential to know and to learn more about your own natal chart, to know what is really happening, right? So that you can work with all this transit energy and you know what it means for you, right? And also, it's a long period of time. It's 20 years. It's not like you're gonna get hit by Pluto all the time. Maybe once in a while when the aspect hits your personal planets, right? Or maybe this is a slow graduate process for you because it takes 20 years. So maybe something is slowly changing, shifting, and evolving throughout the next 2 decades for you. And I always find it's so useful when you look back. Like for now, when I look back at my Capricorn house and my own natal chart, I truly understand what Pluto was doing in my own natal chart. I mean, I kind of already know the theme and things that's happening, but wow, really seeing the transformation that I've been on the past 15 years. And now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, astrology sometimes is really so helpful and just so literal, because those themes really played out in my life and it changed and shifted myself, my life. And that is why especially the past few years, when I dive deep into astrology and really learn and look at my own natal chart and all these stuff, wow, that is why I want to do this for people, to allow them to know all these energy. They are not just myth or lies. They truly affect you on a personal level too. So that is to say, this is not a time to fear, but this is definitely a time for you to know yourself at a deeper level and be friends with Pluto and learn to use this energy to help you excavate and transform any area of your life that you wish to in the next 20 years. So now that we talk about this whole Pluto in Aquarius transit, I also want to dive deeper into each sign. So in this following section, we are going to do a collective reading where I'll go sign by sign to tell you what is the theme for you as a rising sign. But also feel free to check out your sun and your moon, but I do recommend watch it from your rising sign first, because that, from watching from the rising sign point of view and angle, you will know which house is ruled by Aquarius, and that is the house that Pluto is going to enter and be a guest for the next 20 years. So you can know those themes that might come up for you to work with Pluto the next 20 years. But also check out your sun, because some people very connect with their sun sign as well. And check out those themes. Those themes might be the themes that come up during the next 20 years for you to work with Pluto as well. There might be transformation taking place in those themes as well. And for the moon sign, you might want to see how to work with Pluto energy on the moon sign level, which is about your emotional needs, your inner world. So I'll meet you at your sign. Hello Aquarius, sorry about this lip not singing with the voice. There's an audio problem, so I'm just doing a voiceover with your reading. I'm sorry about that. So for you, if you're watching this as an Aquarius rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your first house, which is all about you, Aquarius. This is about your appearance, your physical body. This is about the way you show up in the world, how you project your energy out to people around you, to the world. Basically how you show up, people's how others see you. So having Pluto and Aquarius transiting this house of yours in the next 20 years, I feel like, and there's no judgment here, okay? Maybe perhaps you want to alter or change your appearance, the way you look, your body, and there's nothing wrong with it. Do whatever makes you happy. I mean, this is your body after all. So perhaps some of you have been thinking about it, and this is the perfect transit to do it throughout the next 20 years. This is about you maybe wanting to, and I mean, come on, we do age, so you probably will have changes on your appearance or your physical body throughout the next 2 decades. And this is also about how you show up in the world to others, how others sees you. Perhaps this Pluto and Aquarius transit is going to help you have a deeper relationship with yourself. Maybe you are going to excavate and dig deeper, create a more intimate relationship with yourself, right? Maybe you're going to have a self-discovery journey. You might embark on a self-healing journey, discovery journey to know more about yourself, who you truly are. How do you want to show up in this world? Who are you, right? So this is definitely a 2 decades of self-grow, self-evolution journey for you. This is so powerful, Aquarius. And the oracle card that came out for you here is deep cellular healing, physical and emotional healing. Wow, this is really powerful, and this is definitely resonating with what I just mentioned. So this transit is really going to give you a chance. Pluto is definitely inviting you to go down to the underworld of yourself, to have a deeper understanding, more intimate relationship with yourself, so that you can embrace who you are, the light, the shadow, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, and everything in between, so that you can show up for yourself better, and so that you can show up to in the world, how you project yourself out to the others, right? So this is truly a powerful transit for you, Aquarius. So I am definitely wishing you all a transformative Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hello, Capricorn. If you're watching this as an Capricorn rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your second house, which is about your values, which is about your self-values, how you see yourself. And this is about your relationship with money, with wealth. This can also talk about your professional skills sometimes. So Pluto is here for the next 20 years. Perhaps you might have better it will help you to excavate your relationship with your self-value. It might change and shift throughout the next 2 decades because of what's happening on the collective level. Maybe on your own personal journey, you might experience things that might shift and change how you view money, how you deal with money, how you deal with your values. It might change and shift, right? Maybe what you think is important might not be as important anymore, or vice versa. Something that you might not even care about before, but it might be more and more important to you throughout this 2 decades as we go on with our own life experience as well. And that might shift the way you see yourself as well. And the oracle card came out with you is I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Wow, okay. So this card feels very like destiny related to me. Like perhaps there's some fated events, or there might be pivotal moments in your life in the next 20 years that might really shift your values and the way you see money or see yourself. It feels like on a deep soul level, and I'm not surprised because we're talking about Pluto here, right? Pluto is that kind of energy that really digs deep into sometimes our subconscious, and maybe it really opens you up to see something that you didn't see before, and or it's always been there, you're just not exposed to it, but now you see, now you feel. And this card is very meditative and very peaceful somehow. It's not like, ooh, crazy, like, you know, very destructive at all. This girl is just looking down into the water, the unlimited possibilities, and it feels so peaceful. So I feel like this is going to be maybe you really deepening relationship with yourself, and changing and shifting your values throughout the next 2 decades, which can be very like how to say, very, it's going to be very soulful. I feel like this is going to be quite a soulful journey for you in this next 20 years. So love that for you, Capricorn, and I'm wishing you all a happy Pluto in Aquarius transit. Hello Sagittarius, how you all doing? If you're watching this as an Sagittarius rising, this Pluto in Aquarius transit is happening in your 3rd house. Very dynamic house, okay? 3rd house is all about communication, all forms of communication, and this can be the way you speak to others, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, the way you communicate with other, all forms of communication, your voice, right? And this is also about siblings. If you have siblings, this is about the relationship with your siblings. This is also about your skills sometimes. So very interesting. Sometimes I associate the connection with 3rd house and 5th house, because 5th house is about our things that brings us joy, what we're passionate about, what we do for fun, our creativity, and so on and so forth. And sometimes it links with 3rd house, because 3rd house is more of the skills that you have to showcase your 5th house, your creativity, what you're passionate about. So it can be talking about that as well. This is about your immediate environment. This is about your living environment, right? Your closest environment, your everyday environment. And Pluto is coming in for the next 20 years to do some transformation in those areas. So who knows, maybe you will move, maybe you will have some interesting siblings dynamics, right? Pluto is going to transform your relationship with your siblings, getting closer, getting not so close, falling out, rebuilding, coming back together, from no relationship to building a relationship, from building a relationship to falling out. I mean, I'm not here to say that, because guess what, I'm a Sag rising and I feel all these energy coming in already, and I know already that is taking place. So I'm with you, Sag, if you're feeling it, and I'm with you on every step of your journey too. So don't fear. This might be about, maybe, because when we talk about all forms of communication, we talk about social media. Maybe if you have a social media presence, it might be you changing it up. Pluto is here to help you to transform. Maybe you're going to change the way you show up, you speak, the way you voice out, put your voice out from really shy to not so shy. I feel like I'm talking about myself now. Maybe this is about, you know, you having a social media presence, and if you don't, maybe you will in the next 20 years. Or maybe this is about how you change up this energy as well, right? So yeah, very interesting and dynamic house. I am very excited about this as well for us. And the card that came out for you, Sag, is fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Oh my God, let's talk about this, okay? Pluto in Aquarius, talk about extremes of life, holding the opposites. All right, so I feel like this is not the smooth sailing, easy energy to work with. Of course, sometimes Pluto will drag out everything from the unseen world, right? It brings us to the underworld to look at what is need to be looked at, to deal with what needs to be dealt with, to transform it, to destroy it, to rebuke it. So during the next 20 years, it might be challenging times too, right? There might be times when you feel like the odds are against you, that you might really have some falling out. You might have to make some hard decisions, tough changes, right? But also know that they are here to help us to evolve and grow and build a better life for ourselves as well. So don't fear, right? Embrace this energy, embrace this Pluto, and let us surrender, right? The big advice to work with this transit is to surrender, right? What needs to come out will come out. What needs to be worked with will be worked with. We are going to embrace this energy. We're going to surrender to Pluto and say, all right, Pluto, let's work together, right? No matter what it is. So remember this, right? When tough time hits us, we're going to surrender, we're going to accept, we're going to sail through the wave, all right? Ride through the wave. Ride the waves, oh my God, all right? So I'm wishing you all, Sagittarius, a smooth sailing with this Pluto in Aquarius transit. Scorpio, how are you doing? If you're watching this as a Scorpio rising, this Pluto in Aquarius transit is happening in your 4th house, which is about your home environment, your family life. This is also like the bottom of our chart. So this talks about our roots, our inner world. Sometimes it also talks about what makes us feel safe and secure. This can talks about, you know, the home that we built ourselves, our blood related family, or people we feel like they're family to us, right? So Pluto is here in the next 20 years. So a very service level and a very immediate thing that I can think of is you might move, right? You might move home. You might break your house down and rebuild it if you own your home. Maybe, who knows, in this 20 years, maybe during this transit, you might buy a piece of land and build your own home. That is possible. That's very 4th house thing as well. So that is maybe. Also, this is maybe about, because we talk about your root, your lineage. So for some, on a more spiritual level, this is you. Pluto is coming in, excavate, right? You are breaking generational karma, right? You're breaking generational cycle. Maybe you are the one in your generation to say no more, enough is enough. You are going to ascend, right? You're going to descend first, Pluto, going down to the underworld to really deal with your roots, your ancestors, right? To maybe do some ancestral healing, to do some generational trauma healing. And through that, you're going to break that cycle. And that is major work. I mean, that is major work, and Pluto is here to support you to do that in the next 20 years. I mean, that is so powerful. Let me know if it resonates. I would love to know too. The oracle card that came out for you is, wow, so powerful. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Whoa. Okay. So immediately, definitely, I feel like it really resonates with everything I just said. For some of you, this is really about you paving your path. You're building your home, right? Literal. Maybe you are moving. You're uprooting yourself to somewhere new, right? Wow. So powerful. And this is on a deeper level for some of you. This is really about you really going deep into your roots, your ancestry, your lineage, to know yourself at a deeper level, right? To be that leader. Maybe for some of you, you don't have the parents that you wish you had, and now you're going to do that for yourself. You're going to be your own parents. You're going to heal your trauma with what you have. Maybe this is healing your parents' wound. This is healing the generational trauma, and this is breaking the generational cycle. How powerful is that, Scorpio? And of course, Scorpio, right? This is so you as well. And Pluto is your more than ruler. So what a powerful transit for you, Scorpio, right? I hope the message helps, and I'm wishing you all a transformative Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hello, Libras. How are you all doing? So Libra, if you're watching this as a Libra rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your 5th house, which is all about your creative expression. It talks about your creativity, what you're passionate about. It's the fun house. It was what brings you joys, what you like to do for fun, you know, your hobbies. This is also about dating and romance. This is also about children, if you have any, or if you plan to have any. Pluto is here in the next 20 years to help you do those stuff, right? Maybe this is about you starting your own family, or no, just simply having kids, right? This is about you building a relationship, transforming a relationship with your children, if you have any, over the next 20 years. This is about you exploring your creativity, what you're passionate about. Perhaps this next 20 years is about you really knowing yourself at a deeper level to find out what it is that you're truly passionate about and create a path for it, right? Maybe this is starting your own business. 5th house, sometimes we talk about entrepreneurship as well, so this can definitely what it is about, starting your own business. Or if you already have your own business, this is about you transforming it, bringing it to the next level, or changing, shifting it into something different. In the next 20 years, Pluto is helping you to do that. And maybe this is about dating and romance. Maybe this is transforming your dating world. Maybe this is about you seeing dating and romance at a different point of view. Who knows, right? And the card that came out for you is a new earth. Wow, definitely. I mean, after 20 years, definitely you will feel like a different person through this transit. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Whoa, a very powerful card for you, Libra. So I feel like, even though, yes, this is the fun house, this is about, you know, everything fun and creative, you know, this is about joy, this is about what you're passionate about, and this is about entrepreneurship if you're into it or wanting to start. This is about dating and romance, right? This is fun house. Like I said, a new earth, this is really about Pluto coming in to help you transform this house. Maybe this is you discovering what you're passionate about. Who knows, maybe you want to fight for a good cause. You might be a leader, an activist, right? Fight for what you're passionate about. Or maybe this is about entrepreneurship, like I said before, and this card is say go for it, go do it. It is happening. As long as you're confident in yourself, just keep holding that vision that you see for yourself, doing it, and just go with it. Pluto is here to help you to pave that path. So I am wishing you all a fun Pluto in Aquarius transit. Hello Virgos, how are you all doing? If you're watching this as an Virgo rising, this Pluto in Aquarius transit is happening in your 6th house. This is about your daily routine, your everyday work, your day-to-day tasks, ritual habits. This talks about pets. This talks about employee, if you have any. This talks about your health, fitness, the rituals that you do, right? It talks about your health. Yeah, that's what I mentioned about already. So this is really close to your daily life, right? This house. So Pluto is here to maybe help you switch and change up. Maybe you are going to find a new daily routine habit that is going to benefit you more. Maybe you are putting more attention into your health, taking care of your body, right? This is your day-to-day work and habit. Perhaps you might change jobs. Maybe you will, if you are a manager or if you have your own business, you manage employees, maybe that is going to change, right? Maybe the relationships with employee, right? So this is about health. I already mentioned it. So yeah, that's really closely related to your life in the next 20 years. So an interesting house to work with is it feels very close to your heart, right? And the card that came out for you is Star Family. You are part of a team of souls. Call in support. Wow. Okay, very powerful card and very Aquarius energy. Okay, this is about you knowing that you're not alone. This is about knowing that you are a part of the collective. You are a part of a group, right? Sometimes we might feel like a loner. We might feel like we have to do everything by ourselves, or we want to do everything by ourselves because we don't want the support, because we feel like others can't do it as good as I, or some people might not be as helpful as they want to be, and so on and so forth. But this card is reminding you to remember that you don't have to do everything by yourself, and it is necessary to call and help and support whenever you need. Don't feel like it's a weakness to need help, right? It is about you knowing when to ask for help, right? This is about you not burning out candles in both ways. You know, this is about you not draining your battery. This is about how you can work efficiently, right? Pluto is here to help you to do that in the next 20 years. Maybe this is about you learning to be in a group setting, to work together with others, right? You do have the everyday work, your habits, your relationship with employees, and so on and so forth. Maybe this is about you you going to transform the relationship, that maybe you are very introverted, maybe you are not good with working with people, but now Pluto is coming in and help you to understand the importance sometimes to work with people, how it can benefit you, right? So this is a very helpful card and a reminder for you that you are a part of the star family, right? A group of souls here on this earth. So call in the support. Maybe in this transit, you are going to find your soul tribe, your soul family that's able to understand you, help you, support you the way you want to be, help and supported. So that is beautiful, Virgos. I'm wishing you all a smooth transit, Pluto transit in Aquarius. Hello Leos, how are you all doing? If you're watching this as a Leo rising, this Pluto in Aquarius transit is in your 7th house, the house that is opposite of you, right? 7th house, this is all about commitments and partnership. This talks about, yes, your marriage partner. It talks about your business partnership, people you work with. This is about contracts, right? People that you have contracts with. This is the house that rules contracts as contract agreements as well. So this can be definitely about those stuff. So this is sometimes seventh house. We also talk about hidden enemies, right? So this is about Pluto coming in the next 20 years to help you to excavate and learn and deepen your relationships, perhaps, right? Maybe this is about you really having a deeper connection and transforming your relationship with your partner. I mean, that is very intimate, and it can be, I mean, it can be tough, but it can definitely be bringing you guys closer at a deeper level, right? This is about maybe you partnering with people. Maybe you are going to start a business with a partner, right? Not necessarily your marriage partner, but this is about business partnership. So perhaps you're thinking about starting a company in the next 20 years, and Pluto is going to help you and bring in a partner maybe. And maybe this is about you having contracts with others, whether it is to work together or whatsoever, right? So the card that came out for you is Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Wow. I mean, this is totally Pluto here as well, right? Pluto is help us to bring in life lesson and soul growth lesson, right? This is about you learning at a deeper level, right? Learning about your partnership, whether it is business or marriage, right? This is going to transform those relationships in the next 20 years. So it's a very it's very potent in some way. And whatever comes up for you, whether this is about your marriage, maybe this is about your business partnership, just know that Pluto is here to transform it, to bring in lessons, to bring in opportunities to grow and to evolve and transform. So that sounds amazing, right, Leos? So I hope it is going to be a very transformative period for you. It is going to bring you and your partner closer, whether it is being together, your marriage partner, or working together with your business partner, right? So I am wishing you all a transformative Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hello Cancers, how are you all doing? If you are watching this as a Cancer rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your 8th house. Whoa. This is potent and powerful. I said that because 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, which is a Plutonic house. And Pluto is going there for you. Wow. So this is going to be a very transformative 20 years for you. And the themes in 8th house is about death and rebirth, transformation, all the stuff that we just talked about earlier. This is about this is also about the house of taboo, occult. This is also about your internal fears, right? But of course, this is also the share resource house, right? The house of share resources. If you have any share resources with any people in your life, this is about debts, people that is old, and this is about, oh, I talked about that already, life, death and rebirth. This is about sexuality, sex, intimacy, secrets. So Pluto is coming in, excavate all this stuff out, right? No more secrets. The light is out. Everything comes out, yeah, right? Sometimes this can talk about the internal fear that you have within yourself. Maybe Pluto is here to help you conquer that, transmute that, so you can just step out of your limiting beliefs, right? This is about you building a more intimate relationship with yourself, I feel like. And the card that came out for you, oh my god, we can't get more Plutonic than this. Karmic relationships, Orient energy, polarity, soul growth, conflicts. Ooh la la. Okay. Well, one way to see this is that because this house is talks about intimacy, sexuality, and sometimes talk about karmic relationships too. So maybe perhaps Pluto is here in the next 20 years. I'm not saying that you're going to have karmic relationship for 20 years, okay? No, definitely not. All I'm saying is maybe Pluto is here in the next 20 years to help you clear out all those karmic relationships, right? To transmute your energy so that you no longer have to deal with those anymore, right? This is also about your shadow, your internal fear. Maybe perhaps I'm just saying this as an example, okay? Maybe this is about your fear of intimacy, and Pluto is helping you to excavate it, to transmute it, so that you are more comfortable, you are more in your element, you can be more of yourself. This is a very intimate transit for you to build that relationship with yourself. Maybe I know this is not super 8th house related, but this is maybe perhaps you having that deeper connection with yourself, right? Transmuting that, facing your taboo, facing your shadow, your internal fears, so that you can transform and be that phoenix that rise from the ashes, right? And when we talk about other stuff, to share resources and all those stuff, maybe this is about Pluto coming in to help you to sort out all these things in the next 20 years as well. I think this is a powerful transit for you, Cancers. I know this sounds a little bit scary, but no fear. No fear. I always say no fear, right? Pluto is here to bring us, and you have 8th house. You have Pluto comfortable in 8th house, right? So you don't need to be scared. Pluto is here to help you transmute all those, right? So learn to surrender and embrace this energy and work with this energy and not fight it, so that you can come out on the other side, look back and be so proud of how far you have come, okay? So Cancers, I'm wishing you all a smooth Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hello Geminis, how are you all doing? If you are watching this as a Gemini rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your 9th house, which is about long distance travel, foreign lands. This is about your spiritual quest, your spiritual belief, your belief system, higher education, higher learning, philosophies. This is about religions, if you have any, your spirituality. This is about publishing, if you have any, or if you are working in any law or legal environment. This is publishing. I already talked about that. So if you're wanting to write books, if you are a writer, so this can be talking about that as well. Pluto is coming in the next 20 years to help you excavate and transform those stuff, right? If it resonates. So perhaps you're thinking about deepening your learning, your belief system. Maybe your belief system might change in this next 20 years through your own experience or things that happen on a collective level. This might shift your belief. What you think is true now might not be true later on. It might shift, it might change. This talks about maybe you deepening your spirituality, your spiritual learning. Maybe you are a teacher and you're deepening your knowledge and wisdom so you can share with the world, right? Maybe this is about you writing books, publishing stuff, right? Because it's the house of publication, so this can be about that as well. Very exciting house, and Pluto is here to help you go deeper and really turn over every stone, right? It might not be the easiest thing to do, right? Sometimes we will face our shadows when we're doing it. This is you maybe overcoming your own shadows in those areas as well. So the card that came out for you is Hereath, longing for home, homesick for the stars. Ooh, okay. Well, this just get really star seed energy for me right away. So this, and we're talking about 9th house. I mean, hello, the spirit doesn't lie. So maybe some of you are feeling, okay, maybe for some of you, you have no spiritual beliefs. You don't believe in anything in that yet, or you don't know much about it yet, and Pluto is coming in to help you excavate and building this relationship with spirituality, with belief system, with different spiritual modalities, right? You will be learning this. Maybe there's a feeling in you already, or it might come up during this transit. In this next 20 years, maybe you're slowly having this feeling of, sometimes you feel like you don't belong in a group, like you are an outsider, that you feel alienated, that you feel like you just don't fit in or belong to, and you're questioning yourself if something is wrong with you or whatsoever. And the answer is no. Okay, the answer is because you are being called. Your soul is calling you back home to know who you are and to explore that. And if you already have some sort of spiritual beliefs, if you have any modalities that you're interested in, that you have been learning and so on and so forth, maybe this is about you deepening those knowledge, right? You're gaining more wisdom. Pluto is here to help you excavate even more, right? So that maybe perhaps you can deepen your relationship with the spirituality, with the belief system that you believe in. And who knows, it might change over time, right? It might change and shifts in the next 2 decades. And maybe for some, this is about you finding your soul family, your soul tribe, or maybe building one, who knows, right? Maybe about you building a community where you connect with the like-minded people to build your own star family, your soul family, right? And maybe for some, this is about you not knowing that you're not alone. You're going to connect with people. And maybe this is about you sharing your experience as well. Whoa. Okay, I love this for you, Geminis. Very powerful transit and message. I'm wishing you all a powerful Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hello, Taurus. How are you all doing? If you're watching this as a Taurus rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your 10th house, which is about your social status, your career, your reputation, your vocational power, your influence in the society, and so on and so forth. And Pluto is here for the next 2 decades, 20 years, to help you to excavate and transmute this house of yours. So perhaps maybe you are going to have some groundbreaking career path, right? This is about you maybe transforming, changing your career. Maybe this is about you building your own legacy, right? This is about you how the world sees you sometimes if you have a social influence, and maybe you don't, and you will throughout this transit, right? You might maybe build a name for yourself in this next 20 years with what you want to do or what you're doing. So very powerful house. And Pluto, one of the features of Pluto is power dynamics, and it talks about power. So in this house, it's just feeling very boss-like. So maybe perhaps you're going to be your own boss and create some kind of influence in the society or the world even. So very powerful transit for you, Taurus. So the card that came out for you is Double mission. Double mission. Light worker star seed. Serve the world by being you. Wow, you have a double mission here, Taurus. Okay, so I feel like this transit is going to be quite powerful for you on the external level. That talks about what I just mentioned, your career, your reputation. Maybe you're really going to build a legacy and make a mark in the world. But in order to do that, we're talking about double mission. The first mission that you have to do is by being you. So build a relationship with yourself throughout this transit. Pluto is coming in, right? It's going to touch every corner, hidden truth, hidden taboo area that you don't want to look at, the shadow that you don't want to look at. But Pluto is here with a mission, a double mission in your case, right? First, it's all about you, right? How can you build a legacy, leave a legacy, and leave a mark in the world if you don't even know who yourself is? Maybe you're like, I already know myself. What are you talking about? Well, this is about you connecting with yourself at a deeper level, maybe on a spiritual level, right? Maybe there are at a soul level, you're really knowing yourself. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What kind of career do you want to do? Perhaps you're going to change your career path throughout this transit. When you know actually who you want to be or who you are, it might change, right? We change paths throughout life. That is okay, it's normal. And if you're feeling, sensing it, this is the card to let you know to go for it, right? Don't feel like you have to stay stuck, or if you have to keep doing what you're doing because it gives you the safety, it gives you what you want, or it pays the bill, right? But what do you truly want to do? Who are you, right? So Pluto is here to come and help you do that first. Who are you? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do, right? Truly, what do you want to do at a deeper level? Look at your shadow. Make friends with your shadow to really know yourself. And then build a career, a legacy upon it. Whoa. Very powerful and transformative transit for you, Taurus. And I am wishing you all a transformative Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hello Aries, how are you all doing? If you're watching this as an Aries rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your 11th house, which is about your friends group, organizations that you belong to, communities. This is about your hopes and dreams, your aspiration. This is about what you really want to do, maybe, right? And this is also about recognition and reward, and so on and so forth. So Pluto is coming in for the next 20 years to help you excavate and transform that area of your life. Maybe you are going to create your own community, organization. Maybe you are going to have people coming in and out your life, your friends, right? So Pluto might come in, excavate and transform your friends' relationship, your relationship with friends, the communities, organizations that you belong to sift and sort it through, right? Perhaps it's going to tell you who are your real friends. Maybe some expired friendships will leave to make space for new communities and friends to come in, right? This is about your hopes and dreams. Pluto is here to help you transmute, excavate that. What do you truly want to do? What hopes and dreams do you have that you really want to put some work into it and bring it into the real world to make it happen, right? Stop hoping and dreaming. It's time to do some work, real dirty work. Pluto is coming in to help you to do that so that you can truly bring it out and manifest this into your reality world, right? And the oracle card came out for you is, oh my goodness, this is so 11th house. You are not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Whoa, okay? Aries, I know sometimes you feel like you have to do everything by yourself, that you don't need help. I don't need help. I can do it by myself. Nobody can help me anyway. What's the point of help? Asking people, so they're not trustworthy. Sometimes they don't do it anyway. Right? Well, but this card is here to remind you that Pluto is coming here to help you to transform this area, which is your community, your friends, your organization, and so on and so forth, right? Maybe this is about you learning how to be in a group setting, learning to accept help, learning to work with others. This is about you connecting with others, not just isolating yourself, not just always, I'm going to do this myself, me, I'm going to just, it's easier if I'm alone, right? But sometimes we need to be in a group setting. We need people. We are creature of habits. Yeah, we are creature of connection. Sometimes it doesn't mean that we need to have like intimate codependent relationship. No, Pluto is going to come here and take those out of your life if you have any. Okay, it's going to help you understand the importance of relationships, right? Your friends group, your community, your soul tribe. Maybe this is about you finding your own group of people that you can truly connect with, or you creating your own community, right? This is about you finding people that you truly connect with, that knowing that you are not alone, that when you need support and help, don't be afraid to ask for it, and know that the people that truly values you, loves you, care about you will stay here, and allow them to, and also reciprocate, right? So I hope this message helps, and I am wishing you all a smooth sailing transit of Pluto in Aquarius. Hello Pisces, how are you all doing? If you are watching this as a Pisces rising, this Pluto and Aquarius transit is happening in your 12th house, which is actually a house that is ruled by you, Pisces, the 12th house, which is about the subconscious mind, the unseen parts of ourselves, realms that we cannot see, right? This is about the place that we escape to sometimes. This talks about our sleep, our dream, our addictions. This talks about our spiritual liberation sometimes, right? Our spirituality as well. And Pluto is here the next 20 years to help you really dig deep, excavate this area of your life. So for some, maybe this is about you really exploring, excavate your subconscious mind. Perhaps there is some, for some people, not everyone, maybe for some, this is about you really dealing with any addiction problems, if you have any, or if you tend to have escapism. You like to just escape whenever you face when you don't want to deal with something, and Pluto is here to help you. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to face our shadow. We're going to be friend with it. We're going to work with this together. Pluto is holding your hand together for 20 years to help you do that. And for some, perhaps this is about some healing that you need to do, right? Because we're talking about the hidden house, the subconscious. Maybe there are things you don't want to see and deal with. This talks about your wounds, right? Whether you know it or not, maybe Pluto is here to hold your hands, to deal with this, to face it together, right? Pluto is very good at doing that. So Pluto is here to help you to do that. And for some, this is maybe about spirituality. Maybe you are going to have a deeper learning in your spiritual learning, right? Deepening your spiritual learning, maybe you don't know anything about it yet. Maybe you become interested or curious about it. Maybe this is you exploring the spiritual side of yours, and so on and so forth. So very deep transformative transit for you, Pisces. And the card that came out for you is, whoa, the cards don't lie, okay? Deep cellular healing, physical and emotional healing. Whoa, okay, Pisces. So if you are on a healing journey, if you are thinking about it, if this is is at the back of your mind, you already know is here. Well, Pluto is here for the next 20 years to really help you dig deep and heal yourself on a physical, emotional level. Deep cellular healing. Maybe this is about you, really, like I said, if you do have addictions, or you tend to escape when you don't want to deal with the world, right? We all have those moments. Pluto is coming in to help you to navigate this journey, right? You're not alone, and you have people that love you, support you. You have communities that you can go ask for support and help if you need to. So don't ever feel like you can't do it, or you are alone on this journey, because you are not, Pisces, okay? And if there's any wounds, traumas, or thing that you want to heal, to excavate, Pluto is here. Pluto is going to hold your hands and do this with you. So you're not alone on this journey. So perhaps for some Pisces, I'm not saying everyone will have this journey, but for some, maybe this is going to be a very intimate and transformative healing journey in the next 20 years for you. And of course, it doesn't always have to be like 20 years, this long, hard healing journey, right? No. Again, like I said, sometimes you don't feel it at all. You might just slowly, gradually work with this energy, and maybe you will only feel it when it when it creates some aspect with your own personal chart, right? So don't be scared, don't fear it, okay? So I hope this message helped, Pisces, and I'm wishing you all a smooth sailing, a smooth Pluto and Aquarius transit. Hi everyone, so we are at the end of our video. We've just did our all signs reading. I hope all the information helps. Feel free to give me a comment below. Let me know your rising sign, the themes that that's coming up for you. If you find this information helpful, and if you want further support, I am here for you. I'm an astrologer, so we can look at your own natal chart to understand more about this transit for you. Or we can also just, if you don't know what a natal chart is, this is your soul print Polaroid, the photo that you take the minute you're born, you incarnate into this world, and you can learn more about yourself, your energy that you want to show up this lifetime with. So if you want to do more digging in it, I am here for you. Feel free to schedule an appointment with me. If you need any other assistance, I can also do other readings with you. I do tarot reading, akashic record reading, energy healing. If you need reiki energy healing throughout this transit, I am here to support you. And if you have any question, all my information are in the description box below. Just send me an email or send me a DM on my IG. Connect with me there, and I am wishing you all a smooth sailing Pluto and Aquarius transit. I send you many blessings, lots of love, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.